Thank you for taking the Nurses on Boards, Engagement, Expertise, and Leadership e-learning module. None of the content experts or contributors have a financial relationship with Michigan Health Council or Michigan Center for Nursing. This module provides one continuing education unit, and this module must be completed in entirety to receive credit. Please be sure to complete the pre-test if you have not already. This e-learning module, Nurses on Boards, will discuss and analyze the importance of nurses being on boards. Specifically, we will divulge what a board is and their different varieties, the importance of nursing voices on boards, the qualifications of board members, how to prepare to be on a board, and how to find a board that is fit for you. At the end of this module, you will understand what a board is, the importance of nurse representation on boards, how to prepare to be on a board, and how to find the right board for you. The material for this presentation was created by Veronica Robinson, a nurse with 39 years of experience, and Johnny Hamilton, a nurse with 48 years of experience. In the ever-evolving landscape of healthcare, the composition of governing boards plays a pivotal role in shaping policies and strategies that impact patient care, staff well-being, and overall system efficacy. While the voices of physicians, administrators, and policymakers are essential, the invaluable perspective of nurses, the backbone of healthcare, is often overlooked. The call for nurses to take on leadership roles and be represented on governing boards within the healthcare sector is deeply rooted in the historical evolution of nursing as a profession. The importance of nurses on boards can be traced back through various historical contexts that highlight the pivotal role nurses have played in shaping healthcare policies, advocating for patient-centered care, and contributing to the overall improvement of the healthcare system. The historical significance of nurses on boards can be linked to the foundational work of Florence Nightingale in the 19th century. As the pioneer of modern nursing, Nightingale's emphasis on evidence-based practice, hygiene, and patient-centered care laid the groundwork for the professionalization of nursing. Her contributions set a precedent for nurses to be actively engaged in decision-making processes, ensuring that healthcare policies were grounded in both compassion and scientific knowledge. The demands of World War II led to a significant expansion of nursing roles, with nurses taking on diverse responsibilities beyond traditional bedside care. During this era, nurses showcased their adaptability, leadership skills, and capacity to manage complex healthcare scenarios. As the scope of nursing expanded, the need for nurses to contribute their perspectives to policy and decision-making became increasingly evident. Throughout the 20th century, nurses emerged as advocates for patient rights and safety. Their experiences on the front lines of patient care provided unique insights into the needs and concerns of those they served. Nurses, recognizing the importance of translating these insights into policy, began actively participating in healthcare governance to ensure that patient perspectives were integral to decision-making. As the nursing profession gained recognition for its critical role in healthcare delivery, there was a growing acknowledgement of the need for nurses to be involved in strategic decision-making. Professional nursing organizations and advocacy groups have consistently emphasized the importance of nurses having a seat at the table to contribute to policies that shape the future of healthcare. In 2011, the American Hospital Association reported that only 6% of their members had nurses on boards, and that number decreased to 5% in 2013. Yet, today, nursing is the nation's largest healthcare profession, and most healthcare services involve some form of care by nurses. This large discrepancy between nurses on boards and the amount of nurses in healthcare illustrates why there is a need and push for more nurses to be on boards. The 2011 Future of Nursing Report recommended that nurses lead change to advance health. It further recommended that private and public funders expand opportunities for nurses to lead and manage collaborative efforts to redesign and improve practice environment and health systems. As a result, in 2014, a strategic collaboration by Tech Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the AARP implemented the Nurses on Boards Coalition. The Nurses on Boards Coalition are the efforts of nurses and others, ranging from a national to state level, to build healthier communities. The mission of the organization is to increase the number of nurses serving on boards of directors in corporate, health-related, and other organizations. In 2014, the year it was founded, the Nurses on Boards Coalition pledged to put 10,000 nurses on boards by 2020. They have now fulfilled that goal and have now moved on to measuring the impact of nurses on boards to raise broader awareness that all boards would benefit from the unique perspective of nurses that aim to improve health and efficient, effective healthcare systems at the local, state, and national levels. The National League for Nursing was one of the 20 founding members of this coalition, which has now grown to over 30 member organizations and 15 strategic partners and sponsors. We have taken a moment to discuss the history behind nurses sitting in board positions to better understand the drive behind the push for nurses on boards. Now, let's move into understanding what exactly boards are. Many people are confused about the difference between being on a board and being on a committee. While serving on a board and serving on a committee are both important roles within an organization, they involve different levels of responsibility, scope, and focus. Serving on the board is a position of great responsibility and strategic oversight. Board members are the architects of an organization's future. They steer organizations towards long-term vision and ensure that every decision aligns with the organization's mission. Boards make high-level decisions affecting the entire organization, such as setting goals, approving budgets, and appointing executives. Board members are responsible for ensuring the organization operates ethically, legally, and in the best interest of its stakeholders. Additionally, a board represents diverse stakeholder interests. They often represent the interests of key stakeholders such as shareholders, community members, or specific demographics. They hold the authority to appoint executive leadership, which is an important task that is instrumental in shaping an organization's direction. On the other hand, serving on a committee is a role focused on operations and project-specific tasks. Committees are often created by boards and are the engines that drive the implementation of a board's strategic decisions. Committees are tasked with short-term projects and operational focus. Committee members bring their expertise to the table, offering advisory insights and recommendations to support an organization's growth. Committees allow for a division of labor, ensuring that specific projects are addressed with the depth of knowledge and attention they require. In many instances, board members sit on committees. In essence, board members provide the overarching vision and governance, while committee members bring that vision to life. In conclusion, boards and committees are both essential, but they serve different purposes within an organization. The collaboration between boards and committees is crucial for organizational success, and their collaborative efforts contribute to a well-rounded governance structure. There are many different types of boards with their own unique purposes. Here are a few of the main types of boards. In the corporate realm, boards are the backbone of successful companies. Nonprofit organizations also rely heavily on boards. Professional boards uphold standards and ensure ethical practice. Internationally, boards play a crucial role in governing global organizations. Beyond these familiar categories, numerous specialized boards exist to cater to specific needs. Community boards oversee development initiatives. Hospital boards ensure quality patient care. Library boards promote access to information. And school boards guide our educational system. Closer to home, homeowner association boards manage communities, condominium boards maintain common areas, and cooperative boards govern housing communities. Navigating this diverse landscape of boards requires understanding their specific roles and functions. Each board operates within a unique context, requiring members with specialized skills and knowledge. Whether you are a seasoned leader or an aspiring board member, familiarizing yourself with the different types of boards is crucial for identifying opportunities to contribute your expertise and make a positive impact. The most important thing to remember is that boards are meant to strive for diversity and inclusion. Boards are supposed to reflect the communities they serve, and when they do this, they are better equipped to understand and address their needs. This is why it is important to have nurses' perspective on boards as we strive for healthier communities and more effective healthcare systems. With the many types of boards available, it is up to nurses to choose one that best aligns with their interest and passion. Examples of boards include local municipalities commissions, local school boards, local city chamber of commerce, government boards, hospital and health system boards, nursing organizations, local, state, national, international, nonprofit association boards, neighborhood associations, places of worship or religious affiliations, international organizations, and community health systems. Now, having explored the concept of boards, delved into various types, and identified specific possibilities, it's time to delve deeper into the compelling reasons why you, as a nurse, should consider joining a board. Nurses, with their frontline experiences, bring a wealth of insights that transcend the theoretical. The intimate knowledge of patient care, gleaned from the bedside, ensures that the decisions made at the board level are grounded in the everyday realities of healthcare delivery. This firsthand experience is an invaluable asset in steering policies and strategies that genuinely resonate with the needs of both patients and healthcare providers. Hospitals with a nurse on the board have a 7.3% lower mortality rate and 8.9% lower cost per patient. Additionally, nurse executives on boards are associated with increased patient safety scores. It is nurses, intimately acquainted with the pulse of healthcare institutions, that bring a dual perspective on hospital and community health. Their comprehensive understanding of internal operations, coupled with insights into the broader community's health needs, positions them as invaluable contributors to discussions that span organizational boundaries. This holistic viewpoint is crucial for creating healthcare strategies that resonate both within and beyond the hospital walls. At the heart of nursing lies an unwavering commitment to patient well-being. Having nurses on boards ensures that every decision made is viewed through the lens of patient-centric care. Their voices serve as a reminder that the ultimate goal of healthcare is to enhance the quality of life for those under its umbrella. This emphasis is both on patient welfare and employee satisfaction. Various organizations, such as the American Association of Critical Care Nurses, American Organization of Nurse Executives, and the Nurses on Boards Coalition, among others, have found that hospitals with a nurse on the board report higher nurse satisfaction and lower turnover rates. Beyond the corridors of theory, nurses possess an intricate understanding of the daily operations within healthcare settings. The complexities of workflow, staffing, and the challenges faced by healthcare professionals on a daily basis are not abstract concepts for nurses. They are lived experiences. Their expertise is instrumental in crafting policies that are not only visionary, but also attuned to the operational realities on the ground. Nurse board members are more likely to champion initiatives that promote cost efficiency and resource management. Studies have found a positive correlation between nurse board representation and improved financial performance, including higher return on assets and lower operating costs. Having nurses on board promotes diversity and inclusion. Nurses come from diverse backgrounds and represent a wide range of experiences. Their presence on boards ensures that the voices of all stakeholders are heard and that decisions reflect the needs of the communities served. This leads to a more equitable distribution of resources in a healthcare system that is truly inclusive. Overall, it makes sure nurses are heard. Let's go beyond why it is important for nurses to be on boards. Let's go beyond what boards gain from nurses. What valuable experiences and advantages await nurses who step into the realm of governance? The answer to that question is robust. Nurses stand to gain a multitude of valuable experiences and benefits from serving on boards. One thing nurses gain by being on a board is strategic leadership skills. Board positions provide nurses with exposure to strategic decision-making at an organizational level. This experience hones their leadership skills, fostering a broader perspective on healthcare management. Another advantage of being on a board is policy influence. Serving on a board allows nurses to directly influence and contribute to policy development. This involvement empowers them to shape healthcare practices and advocate for policies that align with patient-centric and evidence-based care. Professional development is also a benefit for nurses sitting on boards. Board service offers a unique avenue for ongoing professional development. Nurses engage with diverse professionals, gaining insights into various aspects of healthcare management, finance, and governance. Through experience on a board, nurses gain networking opportunities. Nurses are exposed to influential figures within and beyond the healthcare sector. This expanded network can open doors to collaboration, mentorship, and potential career advancement opportunities. Board participation equips nurses with enhanced advocacy skills. They learn to effectively articulate their viewpoints, advocate for patients, and influence decisions that impact healthcare delivery. Nurses also gain a deeper understanding of healthcare systems. Serving on a board provides nurses with a comprehensive understanding of healthcare systems, including organizational structures, financial considerations, and the interplay of various stakeholders. Board roles often involve engagement with the community. Nurses gain the chance to actively participate in community outreach, understand community health needs, and contribute to initiatives that promote public health. Nurses also develop their leadership abilities by sitting on a board. Board service fosters leadership development by challenging nurses to take on roles that require strategic thinking, collaboration, and decision-making. This experience contributes to their growth as influential leaders within the healthcare landscape. Another big benefit to nurses is the impact and sway they have won the advancement of the nursing profession. Nurses on boards serve as ambassadors for the nursing profession. Their presence helps dispel stereotypes, reinforces the importance of nursing expertise in healthcare governance, and contributes to the elevation of the profession as a whole. Overall, there is personal and professional fulfillment. By sitting on a board, nurses have the opportunity to make a meaningful impact on healthcare policies and practices in areas they are passionate in. Not only do boards gain from having nurses, but nurses also gain a lot from sitting on boards. Now that we've discussed the types of boards and the benefits to being on one, let's talk about what boards are looking for when filling the seats at their organizations. Firstly, boards look for individuals with a diverse array of skills and expertise that align with the organization's needs. Whether it be financial acumen, legal knowledge, or strategic planning skills, a well-rounded set of capabilities enhances the board's ability to navigate the complexities of their mission. Diversity is a cornerstone of effective governance. Boards actively seek individuals from various backgrounds, diverse in race, gender, age, and professional experiences. This diversity ensures that a board reflects the rich tapestry of the community they serve, fostering a comprehensive understanding of its needs. When you have a diversity of experience, more ideas and solutions are thought of. Next, boards look for a genuine commitment to the organization's mission. Passion for the cause, coupled with a clear understanding of the organization's goals, forms the bedrock of effective board engagement. Boards are not just seeking board members, they are also seeking champions who resonate with the heartbeat of their mission. Leadership experience is a key consideration. Whether gained in a professional, community, or volunteer capacity, leadership skills contribute to effective governance. Boards seek leaders who can guide their organization towards its goals with vision and purpose. Strategic thinking is a prized quality. Board members must possess the ability to analyze complex issues, contribute to long-term planning, and make decisions that align with their strategic goals. In a world of constant change, strategic thinking is a compass. Financial literacy is paramount. Board members should have an understanding of financial statements, budgeting, and fiscal responsibility to ensure the organization's financial health. However, this is mostly for those who are interested in treasury positions. If one does not feel super confident in their financial abilities, joining a board with the prospect to learn goes a long way. Boards look for team players. Collaboration is at the heart of effective governance. Boards seek team players who can work harmoniously with fellow board members, staff, and external stakeholders. Together, board members can achieve far more than they could as individuals. Boards look for someone who will be engaged. Time and commitment are essential. Serving on a board requires dedication, and they seek individuals who can actively contribute to meetings, engage in committee work, and invest the necessary time to drive their mission forward. Ethics and integrity are non-negotiable. Upholding the organization's reputation and adhering to the highest ethical standards are fundamental to any organization's work. They seek individuals who embody these principles in every action. Adaptability is another quality they seek. The ability to navigate uncertainties and adapt to changing circumstances is vital for success in dynamic landscapes. In conclusion, the ideal board member possesses a tapestry of qualities that contribute to a diverse, skilled, and effective governance team. If you think about it, many of the qualities boards look for are already embodied in the requirements of a nurse. To reinforce the skills sought after by boards, let's turn our attention to Kelly Kuhn, President and CEO of the Michigan Nonprofit Association. She will guide us through her considerations when selecting new board members and how she endeavors to tailor her board to effectively represent the stakeholders her organization serves.
Hello, I'm Kelly Kuhn, President and CEO of the Michigan Nonprofit Association, and I'm delighted to be here with you today to talk about what we look for when we are recruiting for a board of directors. Here at the association, we represent organizations all over Michigan. We are a membership-based organization. So when I think about the things that we look for in recruitment for our own board, we are looking certainly for representation from those we serve. And for us, that would be nonprofit organizations all over Michigan. And when we look at our membership base, we're looking at organizations who are on the small and grassroots to the medium size. It's really important that representation is there for our organization. And I know it's important for the rest of the nonprofits when they think about recruitment for their own board of directors. The state of Michigan is made up of over 41,000 nonprofits in communities all over Michigan. And that means that there's a nonprofit community in every community. So when I think about recruitment of nonprofit board members, I think about first and foremost mission alignment. I'm not only looking for representation from those I serve, I'm looking for a representation from those who believe in the work that we are doing at the State Association, are in alignment with my mission, but don't always think just like me or the other board members around the table. Nonprofits range in budget sizes, mission focus, and it is critically important that as a board of directors serving that critical makeup of nonprofits, that I'm thinking about representation from all shapes and sizes of nonprofits, whether it be in small rural communities or certainly serving in our urban centers. Geographical representation is very important for the organization that I represent in that we serve across Michigan. So when I think about not only diverse perspectives and mission alignment, I think about things like geography, representation, also thinking about the demographics. Our great state is made up of a variety of demographics, including age, race, ethnicity, and all of those things are critically important. As I think about our population changing over the next couple decades, it is really critical that I have voice and representation from those that make up communities all over Michigan. In our workforce, we have 5 generations. And when I think about what it means to be a seasoned worker and somebody who may be thinking about retirement in the wings, or somebody who's just entering into the workplace, those two lived experiences are completely different, but are totally critical to ensuring that I'm staying in touch with what is happening in today's world. And again, having that diverse perspective and that lived experience of having somebody who may be thinking about their retirement and somebody who's coming into the workforce, those are critical attributes. I'm also thinking about hard skills for a nonprofit. And in particular, thinking about hard skills for our work, somebody who's familiar with the policy space. A lot of the work that we do is in advocacy and public policy, and somebody who understands systems level thinking, because a lot of the work that we are doing is representative of all nonprofits across Michigan. And thinking about somebody who understands advocacy and the important role that public policy plays is really critical. I'm also looking for those community members who have been driven by and are passionate about volunteering. And volunteering shows up in a variety of ways. It could be volunteering for a fundraising event that the nonprofit may be thinking about, but it also could be volunteering for past boards. But I'm looking for people who have had board experience, as well as people who are looking for that first time board experience. I want to have all of those perspectives. I want somebody around the table who's been in a governing role before and understands that when tough decisions need to be made, we may be able to pull from that experience, as well as somebody who doesn't have that experience and may be able to offer a fresh opportunity to be thinking differently. It is so critically important that we think about the diversity of our organization's board of directors in a variety of capacities. Mission alignment, geographical representation, the lived experiences, the amount of time that they've had for lived experiences, and certainly ensuring that I have voice from those that I represent most. When you can ground around mission achievement, when you can ground yourself around a group of shared values, and you recruit to somebody who understands what those values are and shares that passion, those are the absolute critical components when we think about diversifying our boards and bringing on new board members. Our needs are great across this great state, and we need all different perspectives to continue to ensure that whatever nonprofit mission we are thinking about, we have representation from the communities we are serving in. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly Kuhn, for your insightful expertise. As Kuhn stated, there are many different attributes that boards are looking for when it comes to filling positions. And, as you were listening, I hope you again noticed that a lot of what boards seek are inherent to the world of nursing. Let's hear from one nurse and one nursing student about their experiences serving on boards.
My name is Emily O'Connor. I'm from the UP of Michigan, and that's where I work. I go to Lake Superior State University, and I'm working towards my bachelor's of nursing degree. So, my professor actually recommended me for this interview because I am currently sitting on the board of the ethics committee at the local hospital in our area. And I've been working really hard to become a more well rounded nurse and person and learn more about the ethical decisions that sometimes have to happen in medicine and really taking an important leadership role within those sorts of committees and what that means as a nurse or just as a community member. And so later on, I started really considering the ethics of different things that are involved in healthcare. I've always been very interested in ethics and philosophy. And I think because of going to a liberal arts institution at the beginning, I was really exposed to a lot of that. And so I considered what that meant within healthcare, and I considered what that meant for me going forward. And I was talking to Professor Gary and my class at one of our post conferences because she was my clinical instructor, and she brought up that there was an ethics committee at the hospital, and I should look into it. I should look into seeing if I could go to it, and I did. I asked around, and I found the person who was kind of in charge of organizing that, who was the CNO of the hospital, and I started attending, and it's been really wonderful for me to be able to use first my nursing knowledge, but secondly, the knowledge that I gained from my other degree and going to a liberal arts institution and just things that I'm interested in my daily life in something that's directly related to my career. They were actually very easygoing about letting me on. They were so welcoming, and the CNO of the hospital is a really wonderful woman and a really I would say a champion of students getting involved in things. And so she, by her introducing me and making sure that I had contact people within that committee, I felt welcomed immediately. And I think there's a lot of benefits to being in a small town. And one of those is just knowing people. And so anywhere I go, I generally know someone or I can make a connection to someone. And so my prior work in the hospital and my prior work in the community by being involved in volunteering and being involved in, kids sports or whatever, it made a good first impression that I didn't even know I was making. So they were very receptive to having me there. And also just when I got there, I told them I was very interested in being there. And I just listened. I just listened and I really made sure that they knew I was engaged. But I took in a lot. And I think that's really important for anyone who's joining a new board is just listening, taking in what the people who have been there for a long time have to say, and then kind of conceptualizing it in your own way so that you're learning and you're starting to form those mental pathways of understanding. I plan on joining as many things that I can as I can devote my time to. I have a lot of interests, and I think that my knowledge and my background as both a nurse and just as someone who's been educated in a lot of different things is always helpful on any sort of board. I think that nurses have kind of an integral role in any community because they have that healthcare aspect and because they're dealing with people when they're at their sickest and their worst. So they need to be involved in leadership boards because we need to consider that whenever we're doing anything in the community. I think nurses have a role to look out for everyone. And so that doesn't just stop at the hospital, that's everywhere. That's public health, that's public happiness. I think nurses have a key role in all of that. I think it is really valuable to be in these sorts of positions because it shows to a hospital that you're not just going to be someone who shows up and just goes to work. You're going to be someone who wants to be involved in the hospital leadership and also just in the running of the hospital, which I think is definitely needed, especially in a time where there's such a shortage of nurses. It's important to have a nurse view on one of these boards, on every single one of these boards. And so I think that's very valuable when you're being hired at a hospital for them to know that they're going to have someone who is going to want to take that initiative to get into that sort of position.
Hi, my name is Janie Gary. I'm a registered nurse of 27 years. I currently work in nursing education as a nursing professor for the School of Nursing at Lake Superior State University, and I'm a business owner as a legal nurse consultant, working with attorneys and healthcare organizations to improve outcomes in healthcare delivery. Taking the role of and accepting that responsibility to influence policy, to work as a leader in healthcare. Nurses are genuinely natural leaders. We do the management, we care for patients every day, we manage their care, we communicate with others in the healthcare environment. And when I see the nurse as the patient, I'm looking at those environments that nurses are working in, the education of nurses to help make them stronger and to build resiliency in those environments. To be active in making the changes that are needed to eliminate barriers for nurses in healthcare. I became involved in nursing committees, nursing boards at a very young stage in my career. I had a wonderful mentor when I was a student nurse. She was the dean of nursing, and she introduced me to the leadership side of my role. My responsibilities to give back to the profession, to help make a difference through active participation and collaboration with others, that although I had a really direct responsibility to be there to help care and cure for individuals that are in a state of illness, I had that same responsibility to care and contribute to the health of the profession. And so I began my career working in those leadership roles, engaging in those leadership roles at a very early stage. I was on the board of our Student Nurses Association locally, and then I also served a term at the state level, and that was my first introduction to it. Building that skill set in communication, collaboration, and seeing the bigger picture. Those opportunities that were afforded to me helped me to see that it's not, we don't, as nurses, we don't have a tunnel vision. We should not have a tunnel vision. Skill sets that I bring with me to do that, I think were developed over time. It took time. It's very, I remember as I was reflecting and getting ready for this today, I remember thinking back to feeling like I had that imposter syndrome. What could I bring to the table that others don't already have there? And as I grew and became more active with boards and different community committees throughout my career, I realized that I have my experience, I have my ability to connect with others. My nursing education prepared me very well for opportunities to serve in other ways away from the bedside. We are trained to assess and to diagnose and plan and implement and evaluate our actions and the care that we're providing, and that alone is adaptable in any situation. So I learned very quickly as I moved through my time at different levels of opportunity that I've had throughout my career, that I don't have to be an imposter. I'm not an imposter. I have my own set of skills that I've developed. I have my own background and experiences in healthcare. I see things just like others do, and that I can either communicate in support of or bring a different perspective based on my background that will help others see where I'm coming from. I practice primarily in a rural healthcare setting, and I feel like first when I started engaging that may be an area that, well, I can't bring to the table what others can when they're working in a big city or they have lots of resources around them. But what I found is that what I felt like was a weakness is actually a strength in helping to bring to the table a whole different perspective of healthcare needs in different areas, and that I can also contribute then to broadening somebody else's perspective of things that are needed in nursing. For example, resources, staffing issues seem to always come up. And how is that different between an organization or a group that has a lot of resources surrounding them versus an area where those resources are far and few between sometimes. Currently, I serve as an American Nurses Association PAC Board of Trustees. I'm also participating on the Leadership Council for the Michigan Nursing Action Coalition, which is a love that I have for advocacy in nursing. So I really enjoy both of those boards. And I know several nurses that are on boards outside of the healthcare sector. For example, I have a colleague that is a school board member. And what I see is that there is such a need for nurses to be involved at all levels. The one thing that I really enjoy about our profession is that we don't have to be siloed into one area.
As Emily and Jamie have shared their experiences on boards, you can begin to see clearly why it is imperative to have nurses on boards and how the profession prepares you for these seats in leadership. Let's delve more into ways to prepare for board membership. First, creating a personal strategic plan regarding what you want to achieve is helpful. It gives out guidance and outlook. Researching the board that you are applying for is essential. You want to go in showing that you are prepared, and you also want to know what you are getting yourself into. If you need help at all during the researching and preparing process, then try talking to someone on the board or try connecting with previous board members. You can also seek advice and mentorship from someone in your networking community about connections to the board. Next, update your resume or CV with non-nursing language, as you will need to forward this as part of your application. Determine if you will need insurance to serve or if this will be supplied by the board. Lastly, it would be helpful to attend education and training workshops to build leadership skills, financial skills, and general governance skills. Now that we've discussed ways to prepare for board membership, let's take a second to watch what an interview for a board position might look like. We'll start with the type of CV you may send when applying for a board position. This is the fake applicant's CV. You can see the skills and experiences listed. You will want to tailor the CV to the board and position you are applying for. Additionally, it is always a good note to explain the jobs you've had in the past. If the person interviewing you does not have experience in your field, they may not understand some of the lingo or what the position fully entails. Next, let's see our fake applicant being interviewed.
Given what you know about us, what is your understanding of the mission of our organization?
Well, according to your website that I looked at, it says that you're really interested in the community. You're all about community, and you also do community donations which I love. I looked at some of your different donations, and that looks like that's gonna fit because you're all about community.
What role would you hope to play on the board?
Well, as of right now, I would like to be a board member, a trustee on the board. Later on, after I see how your board functions, I might possibly move to a secretary position, but I really just want to just sit and observe the board.
What skills and knowledge would you highlight as a candidate for board service, and how could this elevate the governance of the organization?
Okay. Well, as you can see from my the resume that I previously submitted to you, I've done quite a few different things. I'm really good at organizing. I organized 15 of the 22 mobile lead screening clinics during the Flint water crisis in 2015. In order to do that, I needed to obtain 20 to 30 people and schedule it at various locations and look at the logistics of it all. So, and I did 15 of those. So I would say I'm quite organized. Also, I'm pretty good at conflict resolution because, as you can see from my resume, I was previously patient advocate. So in that particular job, I had to go in and solve problems in the hospital that I worked at for almost 30 years. I'm also pretty good because I've got medical experience, almost 40 years. So 39 years working as a nurse in various different locations, as you can see from the resume. I'm a BLS instructor. I teach that out in the community still. I previously was on 2 separate boards. One board was for a men's homeless shelter, and another board that I was on, I helped to establish a nursing sorority in the Flint area. So we helped to establish that particular chapter. So I was the dean of membership on that particular board at one particular time. So you have to be organized in order to do that. I'm really good at planning things. I'm pretty punctual. I'm pretty flexible. I like to think that I have emotional intelligence, but it's not just me that thinks that. Years ago, I had a 360 interview done. During that 360 interview, what that is they interview your superiors, also the people that work on the same level, and also the people that report to you. That basically said that I was a high functioning employee in several different areas. So it's not just me saying all these things. I actually have definitive proof that I was highly functioning, flexible employee.
How will you fit board service into your personal work and other commitments?
Well, I retired from a university that I worked at for almost 8.5 years. Prior to that, like I previously said, I was a nurse in a hospital for almost 40 years, so 39 years. So since I'm retired now, I have a lot more time to commit to board membership. And I see from your website, you meet once a month. I have no problem making that commitment with once a month. And I could also probably get involved in some of the other community events that you have because I have more time. And that's what I'm really looking forward to doing.
How have you or how would you address the elements of diversity, equity, and inclusion in achieving the mission of the organization?
DEI, okay. One thing that I previously did when I worked with the School of Nursing, me and another faculty, we were responsible for reading a book and then leading the entire School of Nursing in what the book said. And the book was about diversity, equity, and inclusion. It was one of Singleton's books. So that's what we did. Plus, I worked with a student. We were endeavoring to start a student DEI for the School of Nursing. That didn't work out in the time frame that we had, but we were attempting. Plus, I previously have attended various DEI summits. And as a nurse, I take DEI, not DEI CEUs every year. So I think I'm pretty well versed in DEI. Oh, and one more thing too. I think that in order to have the perfect team, you need to have a well-rounded group. Like when I was nursing faculty, I loved it when I had a mixture of male and female students. Increase the power of that group. And I think having diversity increases any group. I also was instrumental in assisting when the university first had veteran students. I went down with other people and we checked out one of the bases to basically see how we were going to incorporate this program in the school. I was kind of like a neutral party, you know, so I was able to basically tell people that this is what happened, this is what I think is good, and so on and so forth. So I think I'm pretty good at diversity, but I'm always willing to learn more.
How could you serve as a link between the organization and the community, between the organization and potential supporters?
Okay. Well, one thing is, since I did work at a local university, I still know a lot of the nursing faculty. I was a nursing faculty there. And I know a lot of the students as well. So I would have no problem asking them or mobilizing either some of the faculty and the students, like I did during the lead screening, mobilizing some of those people to assist us if we need to. And also, I just really like working out in the community. So I know all kind of people. And for my 39 years, even when it wasn't part of my job, I was in the community and I worked in the community because I love the community.
Given where you are now in your own professional journey, why is joining our board important to you?
As I previously stated, since I'm retired now, I have a lot more time to devote to community service. I think community service is so important, and I would like to work in your organization to see what I could do to assist you to help the community even more. And thank you for your time for this interview. I really appreciate it. And I would like for you to accept me for this board position.
Let's hear some parting words of wisdom from Veronica Robinson.
What kind of advice would I give to a novice nurse that's trying to apply for board membership? One thing that I would basically tell that nurse is she could look on the Michigan Health Council website. We have all kind of different things on there that could actually help you to assist you to learn what you need to do. So check out the website, Michigan Health Council, #1. But just from me personally, I would also say that you would need to check the website out of the organization that you're applying for. You know, do your background checks, know who they are, know their mission. If you even know some of the people, that'll be great. But if you don't, you could possibly ask if you could come to the board, like what I did one time. I actually came to the board as just a community member. I sat on the board. I looked at the communication between all the different people, because you also want to know that the board that you're getting on, the people are getting along. And you want to see how they function. So I actually sat several meetings and checked them out before I actually agreed to be on the board. So that's another thing. Also dress professional. I just have on a business jacket, you know, a suit, just dress professionally. Try not to do things like and things like that with your ink pen, looking away, looking up, looking at your watch. All of these things are irritating to a person that's looking, whether you're in person or like me on Zoom. So give them direct eye contact. It's okay to stop and take time to think about your question, because they're going to throw questions out there that you may not know the answer to. But one thing for sure you need to do is you need to try to answer with the information that you have. If you don't have the answer, you could basically say, maybe I would look on your website, or I would ask another board member, but never leave a question unanswered. That looks very bad on your part. And try to have fun. Try to have fun. You're actually doing this for you, for your own personal growth, and you're also doing it to help. It should be symbolic a connection between you and that board. If you and the board don't connect, it's okay for you to not join them. Check them out, test them out, and if it don't work, it's okay. You can move on. And you could also ask the board for different things like their bylaws. Once you become on the board, ask them for their bylaws. If they have employees, ask them for the employee handbook. You could ask them for education. You could tell them that you don't know anything about boards. Ask them for education. They might talk about the Roberts rules. And so you may wonder, what are these Roberts rules? So you could go and Google those and look those up yourself, or you could even ask them if they have a copy of the Roberts rules so that you would know the proper thing. Because it's kind of embarrassing when you do something out of place, but you will, like I did. I spoke out of place and then I was corrected at the board, and then it's like, okay, I apologize. I said, I'm new, so sorry, but, and just keep on going. You're going to make some mistakes, that's okay, but you're going to learn from them. And the whole thing is for you to gain knowledge and understanding, as well as the board to see what you could do.
By watching this interview, I hope you were able to see that the nursing experience you already have helps you. There are many websites and resources out there to find boards that are of your interest. A few include BoardSource, LinkedIn, and professional associations. However, the most important thing to remember when using these sites is to clearly define your interests and skills. This helps narrow down your search to find boards that align with your expertise. You want to participate on a board that aligns with your passions. Some other things you should consider when searching for boards is if the board meeting times meet your schedule or time commitments. If there is a financial commitment, and will the commitment work with your work schedule and personal life? Once you answer these questions, you are ready to apply. I hope this learning module has helped you realize why it is important that nurses should have a seat on boards. Furthermore, I hope it has instilled the realization that as a nurse, you are well prepared and poised to make a meaningful impact as a board member. Thank you for taking this learning module. You must complete the post-test before you can access your certificate.